Yeah, give me some of that. Give me some like Angine de Portrain, you know?
That's not jazz.
I know. You like jazz?
What is one thing you've learned from smoking weed? What do you care about?
If I get to a little mosey, I think I won't get in too much trouble if I get to a little mosey, don't I?
We are never going to be able to make up for this. This is a black mark on our history that we cannot wash away.
I don't want to do your dirty work. How many times you poop a day?
How many times you pee a day? Coffee or weed?
Oh, my name's Alan. Boom, boom, boom. He goes, you don't have two names? How I know call you in a phone book? So from that moment on.
Listen,
Like if you don't want to talk to us, just leave.
then leave.
Like just don't say anything. Why would you say hello and then not
they're
talk
being
to
polite.
us?
I respect that.
God has to make the initiation
Yeah.
to reveal himself to man so that man can dwell again with God.
You want to slow dance?
No.
Okay.
It takes a lot of courage to just sit down with yourself, go out in the woods, whatever it is, and just really dive into like who you are, why you're there, why are you the person you are.
What
Do
you
you give a shit about?
I'm worried about like the tabling though. Maybe we get like no one.
We can bring the tabling stuff just to be ready, and then if it's like immediately a fail, we'll go out and ask. But we'll be ready to do the tabling.
Yeah, we'll just like take this coffee table.
Well, okay,
and we'll
hold
sit
on.
like this.
Why do we need a table?
Shucks.
Dude, we've been so focused on tabling. Just bring the whiteboard. And like prop the whiteboard against a wall or a tree and then just stand by the whiteboard.
Oh.
What? We didn't even know what the important thing about it was.
We should go to that thrift store and get like another whiteboard.
What is so important about what is currently written on the whiteboard?
I just really like it.
Well, okay, hear me out. If we want to write more ideas on the whiteboard, we already have to erase it.
You're right. We'll take a picture of the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think you guys will see us in the car. We might do a little bit of a prep video in there or something.
Thought about it and I brought it out. I would do all caps, personally.
I like this better. It's more...
It's approachable. I will say it's approachable. Big about. Big question mark. No, that's a tiny question mark. And don't do two. Big question mark. Yeah! This is so pleasant, dude. Oh, what is the Prince gonna say? Hat?
Chat.
Oh, do you see what I'm saying?
Chat with us. Okay. You know, maybe we should be talking about stuff. Good interaction.
If we are
outlets.
having a good conversation already,
Yeah.
it's like...
I think you sitting on the trash can is skeezing people out.
Is that too much? It's probably too much.
I think they think
like, what if I'm
like,
gonna jump on them?
You're like my pet crackhead or something, so. No, we need some kind of bit. Like, we're playing Monopoly. I'll do like the sign thing, like the little...
Oh, that's cute. Honestly, that's cute. You can look like cute and like approachable.
So like, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, make it so
dun,
they
dun,
can't read it for
dun,
shit.
dun, dun.
We should have a break
Move
dance.
to
We
the
can just
right.
break
Just
dance
like-
while this is happening.
just like...
What if we like forcefully
What-
approach
yeah,
people
just-
trying to eat dinner?
just like go
Hey!
up to them.
Hey! That's not cool.
I think it's the handwriting. Maybe it's the
What
parentheses.
the fuck is it about the handwriting? We do seem religious.
I'm not religious. You're covering your belly. Now, it's very important that you don't cover your belly. You know, that's very important.
Well, that's not making the cut. How y'all
Howdy.
doing?
How you doing?
We're doing pretty all right.
Good. Listen,
Like if you don't want to talk to us, just leave.
then leave.
Like just don't say anything. Why would you say hello and then not
they're
talk
being
to
polite.
us?
I respect that. We look like we're kissing.
I'm telling you,
Useful.
Jacob, there are
Yeah.
some people that are on the verge of talking to us, and if we had donuts, they would talk to us. It's like right there.
Camera
like
is.
the difference between them talking to us and them not talking to us is our lack of
All right.
pastry. Yep.
I should have also brought a crop top.
You fool. You look like a cool youth pastor, and that's like not an insult. It's just unfortunate in this current setting. You even have like the shirt a cool youth pastor would wear, where it's like almost formal, but like kind of flowy, kind of cool.
Yeah.
Your haircut's like, a little bit just comforting, you know?
Maybe if we're like sitting.
It's frankly unfortunate that a lot of people are running
Yeah, I know,
because
right?
they don't want to talk, because like they're
'Cause
not
they're
going to
running,
stop
yeah.
to talk to us, yeah.
To be honest, like the looks in people's eyes, I mean, it's so instant. I've heard about this Jesus character, and I'm not interested.
Is it wrong to when we're not talking about Jesus? But what if they're talking about Jesus? Then we do want to talk about Jesus. Why is it so hard to talk about Jesus?
don't know.
Yeah, next time I see someone tabling, no matter what they're gonna be like, I get it.
Again, you should affiliate with the sign.
Okay, you keep taking the sign.
I'm sorry, I don't know why. I
Keep
feel
it. I don't know.
protective over
I don't
it.
know either.
I don't know.
You just end up with it. It's okay.
I end up with it consistently, you know. I'm gonna sort of just do a little dancey dance,
Dancing's
make
fun.
me look more approachable.
Yeah.
You're having a good time.
This is so fake. It's
What a
obvious.
laugh.
He's staring.
Dude, Yeah.
This is not going good.
This is not going good.
Did I really not tell you about the tattoo I want to get ever?
No, you did it. You didn't
Are
mention
you
it.
fucking sure?
Oh, don't swear, but yeah.
Cause yeah, it's happening.
Hold on. Let's rethink. We're gonna rethink. All right. We're gonna rethink our strategy.
This is
Tell
the
us about
exact
yourself.
question an evangelical. That's also a question evangelical Christians ask.
What would I say?
And that's like even more.
What's your
loaded on their
favorite
core.
drug? No, I don't know. Where's the marker at?
What if we went like God or weed? What is one thing you've learned from smoking weed? What do you care about?
No, I think we're onto something. Maybe
The
it should
question
be
on
like,
here should be funny. Let's ask something funny that doesn't skip to this.
how many times you poop a day?
How many times you pee a day? Coffee or weed?
Did
I
you
wanna put
wash
weed
your
in there.
ass?
I want to put weed in there. It establishes comfort.
We're gonna go with.
We can just try not
What
to.
do you give a shit about?
That's good. That's what I was talking about earlier. Let's just not swear a lot, but like,
What
do
you
you give a shit
shit
about?
about? All right, I think if we keep the what you should give a shit about sign and then get some donuts right now.
Oh, that's heat.
All right.
If
so,
we fail with what we give a shit about and donuts,
then this was doomed. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run. We're gonna go to the Smiths. We're gonna grab
Yeah.
the donuts. We're gonna come back. We're gonna have the donuts and the what do you give a shit about sign, and that's what we'll do. So yeah.
wait, Jacob, just run. You just.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello. We're just interviewing people on the street, asking them about what they care about.
We're totally independent from anything. We're
No
literally just
organization.
curious.
We're posting them on YouTube.
We're not even doing like analysis or anything. We're like just asking people.
We're trying to build a platform that makes content that inspires people to sort of think more deeply about life in a kind of a casual way that our generation can relate to.
So I don't
That's
know.
why
We're just
out
kind of
here.
trying to be thought provoking. That's kind of it.
So you'll get answers from people your age and the people.
Well, anyone, like, yeah,
Anyone.
we're free for anything, yeah.
Yeah, we're just sort of
Yeah.
and
talking to
how
people.
long-
Yeah.
I don't have anything cogent to say right now, so, and I don't want a donut. But
That's all right.
I'll walk by
No
if I
worries.
All right.
Are you guys filming
Yeah.
now?
We
We got
are.
a camera right there. If you
Yeah.
don't want to
You
get
don't
filmed,
wanna
you can
be
just step back,
filmed.
but you can give input if you want
I
to.
mean,
What are you guys doing?
Literally, like,
Um,
we're just asking people.
we're just out here
not
asking
connected to
people.
anybody. We don't have any affiliation.
Yeah.
We're just.
You guys just have like a YouTube channel or something?
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah. We just like connecting with people. Yeah,
Yeah.
we just like connecting with people, so we're just trying to get a feel.
Dig the crop top, by the way.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
I specifically wore it to try and seem both approachable and like not affiliated with anything. Like,
Not affiliated
so it
with
doesn't
something.
look religious. It doesn't look like I'm like
Not a
tracting or
Jehovah.
anything. Yeah, I'm not a Mormon, not a Jehovah's Witness. Just like,
No, it's a good spot.
especially on like 9th and 9th, it kind of like takes down the energy a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
think you're a fucking Jehovah or
No, yeah.
Yeah.
collecting signatures.
'Cause it's so hard,
Remember
yeah.
those guys trying to repeal that bill that was like they
Like,
wanted
yeah.
to repeal the voting rights
I don't
bill?
think
Yeah.
they want to be on the channel.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
no, it's all
Okay.
good.
You do?
Yeah,
You don't mind?
Then yeah, I guess what's your input? Could you identify like any of your values that you'd want to put out there?
What do you care about?
At the moment, that big ass data center they're trying to
Real.
build.
We were just, yeah.
about that with somebody.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Yeah, what
on
are your thoughts on that? Yeah.
everybody's minds right now
Yeah.
because it's gonna use.
Can you believe that passed? Like,
Dude, yeah, no, they pushed
Yeah.
it
That's
through
crazy.
without approval. There
Really?
Was like 500 people showed up to speak out against it,
yeah.
and the city council of Box Elder just walked out. And
That's
pushed
insane.
It.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the video. It was pretty crazy.
It's gonna use 2.5 times the power that this entire state uses.
Wow, I didn't know that.
The water usage alone, it will
Yeah.
be massive.
Yeah, I like drinking water.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
drinking water. I like the
And
Colorado
shower.
River
But
existing.
hey, you know,
I like
data
the Great Salt
centers
Lake
need to drink
existing.
too,
Yeah.
I guess.
Get data
if I'm
centers probably
thirsty,
gonna
they're
make, yeah, it's
thirsty.
probably gonna make me personally a lot of money if there's a data center.
Yeah, so
For sure.
I mean, like being against data center, definitely all for that. In
Yeah.
terms of values as a person, how do you feel like your desire to not have this massive data center is reflected in sort of what you believe as a person?
Definitely environmentalism.
Yeah.
Like the preservation of public lands,
Yeah.
the preservation
huge.
of like Utah biodiversity. People talk people don't like camping out in the scrubland, but I fucking love the scrubland.
No, I feel you.
Oh,
like
yeah.
just out in
It's
the
so
sagebrush,
beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah,
We're gonna film out
exactly.
there.
We are. We're
Oh,
open
hell
to,
yeah. No, yeah, but those
yeah,
are-
do you have any? Are you from Utah, or do you have any experiences?
I
that
was
make
born
you-
in Seattle, but
Oh,
I've been
cool.
here for 20 years.
Real,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
How
yeah,
old are
yeah,
you?
yeah,
I was-
22.
I was
Oh,
gonna
cool.
say you're,
I was
you're
like-
a little older.
Yeah,
than you,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Sounded like something like a 4-year-old.
So I'm basically from Utah.
I guess do you have any like specific things that you can remember that like really instilled you to like the natural beauty in general here?
I'm not a Boy Scout anymore, obviously.
Yeah.
But
I feel you.
Neither
I
are
used to
we.
be a Boy Scout.
No, I
and
get
it
that.
was,
Yeah, like I grew up Mormon. We went in the woods a lot. Like I
I was
won't
in
lie,
a,
like it was
a non-denominational troop, so we mostly just smoked weed in the desert.
real, dude.
But
wait, in the troop?
yeah.
Whoa!
Yo.
No,
the troop
my-
was down for
I
that.
was
That's
in a
crazy, dude.
non-denominational troop.
Dog, you were the sickest Boy Scout ever. Are you kidding me?
Dude, exactly. I met my plug in that scout.
Oh
troop.
my god,
Gosh,
dude.
that's
I
crazy.
remember once we were I was going on runs with them to drop stuff off, and we passed by this homeless guy
Yeah.
who he had a sign that said, "I'll be honest, I'm gonna spend half of this on weed."
And you were like, "We got you, dude."
So he just gave
Half
him
is
just
crazy.
give him some weed.
budgeting it
so he
out.
just gave him a gram and $10.
Well, here's the weed. Use the other half on food. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
but yeah,
real,
no,
dude.
going out to like
Low-key,
Escalante,
I'd still be a Boy Scout if that happened.
Escalante, Goblin Valley,
Yeah.
Grand Staircase, the Capitol Reef.
What's your
Oh, it's
favorite of all
huge,
those
yeah.
places?
Escalante.
Let's go on.
The
I've
slot
actually-
I'm not sure I've ever
Canyoneering.
been. Yeah.
The slot canyoneering is amazing. They're
Yeah.
building that data center way out in the scrub,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, that's like people camp there.
yeah.
like,
And,
I-
people aren't gonna stand for that. Like, yeah.
This might be depressing, but I think it's really unfortunate that people are really gonna people tend to like really object to things after they see the effects of them and not before.
Yeah.
And I think more people need to think like that.
Some
When
more
the Great
water
Salt
here,
Lake
yeah.
dries up, when there isn't accessible water, when there isn't
Yeah.
public lands
When
to
it's
camp
too
in,
hot to camp.
when
out
it's too
there,
hot
yeah.
to camp, when it's so hot that because the homeless people get heat stroke in the summer
Yeah.
and frostbite in the winter. A guy froze to death a block from my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
The I think more people need to care about the effects before it happens because we know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not going to create jobs. It's going to destroy
And then there's
jobs.
just-
And it takes resources. And once it's built, it's taking away like white collar and blue collar jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's taking away all of these administrative jobs, but it's also once it's built, those blue collar guys are
Yeah.
going to be out of work.
And then the end result is just alienating labor at the end of the day from everyone.
Well, and they're building it where all of the poor people are.
Yeah.
They're building it where all the rural folks are. They're building it where all the blue collar people are.
I mean,
because they don't think. Because
They don't think they'll have the capacity to give a shit. They're like, oh, if things affect these people, they don't know how to organize.
Well, yeah,
or,
'cause,
like stand up against it. Yeah.
like-
Exactly.
honestly, Congress, they're a bunch of bourgeois assholes, and I hate them. Like they like to pretend that they're like, oh yeah, we love the rural workers. You know, we're native-born Utahns,
Yeah.
and then they do shit
like,
like
fuck
that,
off, yeah.
like destroying rural
Yeah.
areas, treating those people like they're below the
yeah.
people in cities.
Culturally, you pretend to be so close, and then your decisions never actually tend to support the people.
I mean, it's an age where presentation is everything.
Well, yeah. I
You know, follow through is rarely as important because people don't have the time, money, or resources to be, really digging into what kind of impacts the people they put in office are actually bringing
Yeah,
about.
exactly. I will say though, I'm with the Revolutionary Communists of America, and I find it about as easy to reach out and talk to a lot of the conservative folks as it is to talk to the liberal folks because
I get you.
I don't think either of them realize that their interests aren't aligned with the bourgeois. They're
Yeah.
aligned with the other all other workers. Another thing I really care about right now is what's happening in Gaza and the West Bank. And one of my least favorite neoliberal arguments for funding Israel is oh, do you know what Palestinians do to queer people over there? You're trans. Do you know how they would treat you over there? Why are you weaponizing my identity to bomb children? Why are you saying oh, because I'm trans, I have to support
so
your
what we-
neoliberal
Yeah.
bourgeois bullshit? You're out here killing people, and you're telling me that it's for my benefit?
Because there's
I'm not
there's a
benefiting.
cultural issue over there.
Yeah, exactly. You know what would happen if I was trans in Palestine? They'd bomb me.
Yeah.
There aren't buildings to
You know what
be
happens
thrown
if you
off
were
of.
straight in Palestine? They might bomb you.
Yeah, they'll bomb
Yeah,
you too.
dude.
They don't really care.
I mean, drawing lines in the sand ideologically is definitely the most convenient way for people in power to
It's just keep dividing
just
further and further.
pull the
yeah.
blinds over your eyes that they are in power and that really this whole culture war is being manufactured for the sole purpose of keeping the masses who ultimately have more power than the individuals at bay.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
trying to create that divide, saying oh,
howdy.
these.
community council chair.
Oh, cool.
Oh, what
we
up?
can talk to you
Trying to
next.
figure out what you're doing.
Hell yeah, nice to meet you.
We are just interviewing.
Can I take your picture first?
Yeah, you can
For
take
sure,
a picture.
Sure.
Yeah.
Here, let me get in there.
Yeah, you got this.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Hello, how you
Have a lovely
Love you
evening.
guys. Oh, and yeah, go other
Howdy. Here, I'm gonna quickly check that
I fucking love the other side.
the audio's all right, and then we'll keep it going.
It's a great
We just like getting some people out here and,
Well-
and doing
Oh,
what
I
we do.
love this.
Do you want to tell us something you care about or give a shit about to be on the nose?
I will. Okay.
You will?
Give me
Okay.
a second to compose
Here.
myself.
No, you got it, dude.
We got to buy more mics, Eli.
I know, dude.
I'm gonna enjoy a donut for a second.
Oh, of
Oh, you
course.
got it, dude. We'll keep grabbing you for a second.
Please,
Oh,
please
hell yeah.
join us
Now
if you'd
keep
like.
this back.
But you know what I
What's your name?
Yeah.
what I was
Jacob. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Here, do you mind if we get into the camera? Do you want to be on YouTube? Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's
'Cause
all
then
listen
Lily
to
can
what
get out of here.
what
then,
Lily's talking about.
okay, yeah. I just wanted to say nice to meet you, Casper.
Casper, Lily.
Hell yeah. You know, I was gonna say but yeah, no, I would say the big three. Like my biggest issues are definitely environmentalism, the
Yeah.
current ongoing conflict in Gaza, or not even
Yeah.
ongoing conflict. That's like
Well, the
pre-programmed.
word we like to say
The
is,
genocide, and they are burning people, and I'm sick and tired of seeing my tax dollars going
Yeah.
to burning people alive, killing children,
Uh-huh.
instead of going into improving my life, improving their life. We owe them massive reparations, frankly. We are never
Yeah.
going to be able to make up for this. This is a black mark on our history that we cannot wash away. My money should be going to supporting my fellow Americans, not to building massive data centers in the middle of the desert, not to building wealth for the bourgeoisie, for
Mhm.
these people who already have infinitely more than the rest of us do, not to separating me from my fellow workers, my fellow comrades. But I would say that's one of my biggest issues because of how pressing it is. Environmentalism, the current genocide going on in Gaza and the West Bank, the massive concentration of wealth to the bourgeoisie in America, the degradation of our rights as Americans, the degradation of others' rights through funding not only
So-
foreign wars but foreign genocides. And I would really love to see my tax dollars under a communist system going into building roads, going into building hospitals, like we were talking about with Cuba,
Education.
who, despite being starved, have the highest number of doctors per capita, 4 times what we do. Whose biggest export is doctors. They offered to send us doctors during COVID,
Yeah.
and we refused. They offered to send a country that has been starving them out for decades doctors during COVID because they saw
Yeah.
that we were suffering too.
Oh, it's nice talking to you too, Lily.
Yeah, sorry, I won't
I'm
go
gonna
on
look you up, by the way.
Oh,
I'm gonna get on your website.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us.
Actually, here, you can get my phone if you want.
It is
Yeah, I
such
got
golden hour
I'll
right
follow
now.
myself
Yes,
on
it is.
Instagram.
All right, let's give these people the floor. Casper was here first. Casper, tell me something. What do you care about?
Well, I mean, just such absolute garbage how like our Salt Lake is drying up, and if it does, it's gonna be a toxic wasteland. And he's like,
It's so
they
funny
got-
because it'll literally be a toxic wasteland.
yes.
Like that's usually like a hyperbolized term, but it'll
oh no,
be
it will be
a toxic land full of waste and toxins.
quite literally.
Isn't that crazy?
And I can't believe everybody in the whole state is against this. It's the one thing that's bringing the right and left together is that hey, we don't want this stupid
Save
data
the Great
center.
Salt
And it
Lake.
happened anyway.
Literally booking the size of the city of San Francisco, taking even more of our water, which will be taken first from marginalized communities. Is nobody wants this shit, and I will chain myself to these acres before they pave this for me.
Taking jobs too, like
yeah, exactly.
What are you gonna do?
Anyway,
Cool.
I'm mad about
We can come this way.
Yeah.
Could you? I guess you've had time to think now. Could you identify something that you really care about or that you want to
that. I'm on the
right
clock, so I better run. Actually.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking to
yeah,
us.
dude. Thank you.
Well, have a great night.
Thank you. Is it okay if I take a donut?
Oh yeah, of course.
Word.
Of course. That's what they're for.
I paid off in front.
Oh yeah. Put that down payment on.
Have a good day.
And make sure the
Bye.
camera's still on, and we'll keep going.
Jacob, what I truly care about and what I truly give a defecation about is the use of language.
Okay.
And I will reflect on 3 phrases in particular. The first is the prevalence of the phrase dude in our language. People refer to me as a dude. I am not a, you know what a dude is by definition?
What is
It's
a
a
dude?
fop. It's a fop,
Fop.
dandy.
Okay.
And what this word has done has denigrated men.
Okay.
When I was young, my father was a steel worker,
Hmm.
and they had a strike, and my mother said, "The men are on strike."
Hmm.
She didn't say, "Oh, the dudes are on strike." No. It's a way of elevating ourselves into our masculine identity.
Hmm.
The second phrase that I'm very, very passionate about is the word jealous. Jealous is a grasping phrase. When I hear people say, "I'm jealous," I immediately correct them and I say, can I make a suggestion? They'll say yes. Use the phrase, "I admire your good fortune and hope to emulate it." And the third phrase, and I hear this on a regular basis, and again, I stop and correct the person. They'll say, I'm killing time. Well, time is killing us. Use the phrase, I am utilizing time. These are actions that we can do right now. We don't have to worry about organizing. We don't have to worry about, getting a group of people or whatever it takes on a massive scale, because it was proven that it's impossible to organize people. Because to organize a group, it's going to take 1,000 phone calls. To organize a group of billionaires, it takes 3 phone calls. So let us just look at something by our actions that we can elevate society.
What kind of elevations would you expect in a society where we maybe follow those rules and once again have more self-respect, dignity, and almost sort of power in our language that empowers us? Like
Well, it's a
that's what I'm hearing.
consciousness. You're living in consciousness at that point.
I like that. I see where you're
You're
coming
using the exact word for an exact situation. It was Mark Twain who once said, the difference between lightning and a lightning bug is immense. By using the correct word, it's forcing us to then take correct action.
I see the
So
follow
you really
through there.
believe in like the specificity of language and like the way it interacts
It's
with
the way
people's
we think.
minds. Yeah, exactly. Interestingly, when we first wrote this sign, we did not use the word shit. We just said,
Yeah.
"What do you care about?" What we noticed
Nobody.
is we didn't get any traction on that one at all. And our take is, now that we've changed it, is that our language in the first place was too clean, and it made us seem associated with one organization or another. We would have seen that we were selling something, that we were trying to connect people using such casual and vulgar language.
Vulgarity has a
especially
point. Look
with
at Charles
especially with the
Bukowski.
young, especially with people, it makes them get the feeling that we are non-corporate and that we're not
Right.
that we're not selling anything, that we're just.
I
it makes you
see that as a
overwhelmed with
viewpoint.
people,
I truly do. The idea is to keep dialogue going.
Yeah.
And when we're dialoguing like we're doing now between each other instead of into this, that's how come I admire your project, and I stopped immediately.
Exactly.
did.
Yeah, because you
It
see
didn't take,
it, and it
didn't
goes,
take me so
"Whoa."
much as a second to say, hey, I'm going to get in on this. And the other thing, just as a side note, so I graduated from Northwestern like 100 years ago. And I only remember one thing, getting thrown to the ground by my judo instructor when he came around and said, oh, what is your name? And I just said, oh, my name's Alan. Boom. He goes, you don't have 2 names? How I know call you in a phone book? So from that moment on,
Language has been very precise from that
very,
point on.
very precise from that point on. And I also use both names because it's creating my idea as a full person. So anyway.
Thank
we'll
you
see
for
guys.
speaking to us.
Thank
yeah.
you so much, Al
Yeah, that was
Sakaran.
profound.
That was awesome. Have a nice night.
Wow.
That
We
was
just had like
incredible.
2 of the best interactions.
That was
off the
incredible.
rip. We
I think
got-
it's almost dead, so.
We got a card-carrying communist and a precise user of language.
All right, guys, welcome back to Yields. This is Darkness
I'm
Edition.
telling you, you don't gotta say welcome
Where's
back
our
every
donuts?
time. They're right here, man. It's
Okay,
cool.
on the trash is diabolical.
I was looking for my thing.
Okay, well, just so you know, that's all kind of rubbed off. All right, I think we got a few more interviews in us.
Well, if you want to hold the sign, I'll like bold it up a little bit.
Yeah, get that perky.
I don't bow, don't bow, 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 do, do, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, give me some of that. Give me some like Angine de Portrain, you know?
That's not jazz.
I know. You like jazz? I don't want to do your dirty work. You want to slow dance?
No.
Okay. If I get to a little mosey, I think I won't get in too much trouble if I get to a little mosey, don't I? Well, we just saw a man.
There was a homeless neo-Nazi over there.
He just passed the. I thought he was gonna swipe my phone.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, what's your answer?
How you doing?
What's up?
What's your answer?
What do I care about?
No, what's your answer? Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah.
I
What do you care about?
I care about spreading a welcomeness to people around me, and I care about my religion. I'm Buddhist. I really care about maintaining my connection to a lot of the core tenets of Buddhism, and living those in the way I treat other people.
Are you sold?
What?
Are you sold?
Sold?
Are you sold? Yes.
Oh, soul. I'm not sure what you mean by that question.
Yeah, most people don't.
Okay, then tell
Well,
me.
what does that mean to
I'd
you?
love
Yeah.
to hear.
Well,
How you doing?
they think.
Okay, well, tell us what you're talking about. What's
Well,
soul?
yeah, soul's who we are.
Okay.
Okay. And if you really know about the Buddhist or any other religions, really, Eastern religions, we're soul. We're not a person with a soul. We're soul. There's a total big difference between them.
Yeah.
Are you coming that from like the stance like depersonalization of like taking the ego out of it, or what?
Well, soul doesn't have an ego. Soul
Define-
doesn't have a sex. It doesn't have an ego.
Okay.
Soul has a different bodies and stuff here on the physical and stuff, and we have the personality and the mental and emotional to express soul on the physical here, or astral or mental, whatever plane you're on.
I resonate with that idea, though. I do understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So what do you think the karma situation is with all that?
With karma, I like the idea of karma. I buy into it in a general sense, just like pragmatically, the idea that if you put good into the world, at least your perception of yourself will be positive in a sense that I think you can go about the rest of your life with almost a security in knowing who you are with greater surety.
I always find it hard to track down though, because
Yeah,
in a world so mired in capitalism, which you never really know exactly where your money's going. Karma's a really difficult concept to validate.
No matter what the actual effects of my actions are going to be, I'm going to try my best to use my best judgment to get as much good into the world as I can. I'm studying to be a social worker right now, and the thing that gets me out of bed and the thing that makes me feel fulfilled in my life, which is all I'm looking for, is trying to uplift people. And I had a mentor, my professor this semester, just said something to me like, you can do the work and you won't always get positive outcomes for people. A lot of times you won't. But it's not about what happens to the people that you're trying to help. The point is that you tried, and that's just it, Because it's about the way you look at your own life, and it's about being able to say that you made an attempt and that you lived,
That person over there, they made
Yeah.
their choice. They're
Yeah.
responsible for their own situation.
Yeah.
We're all responsible
yeah.
for the wherever we are and whatever's in front of us.
My personal idea with that, again, if you take cause and effect all the way back, I actually don't believe that we're responsible for our own situations, because at the end of the day, I don't believe in free will. I earnestly don't.
Oh, really?
I know.
That's
I
the
know.
ultimate. Let me explain. That is cause and effect. Every action indeterminately has cause and effect applied to it. We do not have free will. Every single belief,
Really?
perception we have,
See, that's,
I mean,
that's,
built
that's
on
the
everything.
difference I'm trying to.
I understand what
I
you're
say
saying.
your soul,
Yeah.
but maybe you don't want to.
I would like to say that I believe I'm fundamentally ignorant, and this is all a hypothesis. I'm sorry I said that so boldly and confidently. I do suspect we don't have free will, and I suspect we are biological machines.
Yeah.
I would hope we're more than that.
Well,
I would hope
if
we're
we
more,
don't
but I
have
don't
free
know.
will, then you have no say on what makes you laugh or cry.
Well,
or
that's
what
actually
gets you
interesting
pissed off.
because I struggle with this a lot. I would say it's like the biggest thing in my life that I cognitively believe that we don't have free will. But on the layer below that, I kind of take that and I spin into being able to live my life despite not having very much control. Because I say we don't have free will mostly because I was born into circumstances that I didn't control.
Okay, Buddhism, you know what they believe in, right?
I know my particular sect of Buddhism believes, yeah.
Okay, you know they embrace reincarnation.
Not my sect.
My point is that we've been here more than once, okay?
Okay.
So when we're soul and before we choose another body here, which sometimes, depending on where you are in your state of consciousness, it's like you have a certain amount of choice in it to be able to choose, what family come into, what siblings, whatever, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
And then there's the Lords of Karma that they kind of like, if you don't kind of know what you're doing, then they're going to tell you, well, this is what you need to learn.
How do you get in touch with the Lords of Karma?
Yeah, can you just become receptive to that or what?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
In the spiritual, in the dream state, yeah.
Do you have any specific practices that you feel like can get you closer to that?
Yeah.
Like what?
Contemplations.
Like meditation?
No, meditation is passive. Contemplation is active.
Okay.
What does that look like for you
Yeah.
if you're doing
How do you
that?
Well, the way I contemplate, I sing an ancient word, H-U. Hu. And you can hear it everywhere, basically. You can hear it in engines, you can hear it in the wind, you can hear it in the insects. It's basically the sound of God, really. Most people are walking around and they're not aware of themselves, let alone what's going on around.
Yeah.
Okay. There's the things, you can get in touch with your spiritual guidance, or you can just ignore it and never know that it exists.
Yeah.
You have intuition.
So you think your intuition is sort of like from karmic forces?
Yeah.
Well, no, they're spiritual. People
yeah.
don't understand.
It's an interesting
that,
thought, yeah.
Most people don't even realize, like the shit that's going on. Of course, Trump's karma is going to be
Yeah,
I've had that thought before.
Who's gonna have
How
something
is
happen to him.
how is that gonna come around? Yeah,
Here.
gonna
you
come
think
around.
about it. It's
One
gonna
sec,
get
I've been
it's
neglecting
gonna
doesn't even
my
have
friend
to be
here.
this
What's your name?
lifetime.
Colin, nice to meet you.
Tell us something you care about.
So I saw you guys earlier when I was walking this way with
Yeah.
my brother. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I'm a Protestant. I know a lot of people around here are more.
Yeah.
I'm not from here, but
Yeah.
real.
that's something I care about, and I think that we all know that there are spiritual realities here on Earth. I think creation points to a designer, and personally, I've experienced this through Christ. I guess like more inwardly and personally, I think like all humans have had shortcomings. You also often hear people say nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
And I believe that we have a God that establishes moral absolutes, and that there's a God that determines what is good and what evil is. And I think that all creation, all people, have actually done at some point in their lives, whether or another, and on different scales, I believe that we've actually done what's evil in the eyes of God. With that, I believe that God, with the Christian faith, we believe God to be a personal God, and that He actually desires to dwell with His people. And because we've done evil against this holy God, who has defined moral absolutes such as good and evil, I believe that we had to have some way to be reconciled to Him. And I believe that is only through God Himself. Man can't, in his effort, do what it takes to get to God. God has to make the initiation to reveal Himself to man, so that man can dwell again with God, because God is a personal
That sounds
God.
fair.
Yeah.
I definitely think that like part of my qualms with I come from a Christian background was I just never felt like God revealed Himself to me growing up, and I left for other reasons. But if you were to tell me like what does one get in touch with God in a way to reestablish that relationship?
Personally, for me, it kind of came through, in the scripture, it speaks of the Holy Spirit, and one of the functions of the Holy Spirit, obviously this is an inanimate, it's something that, kind of reveals itself to you. And one of the functions of the Holy Spirit is conviction of sin. That's how I experience it in my own life.
What's conviction of sin? Yeah.
Conviction of sin would be, I recognize that what I am doing is wrong in the eyes of God, who is the moral lawgiver. And I felt conviction of it within me, like it was something
That
that
sounds
I
a
must
lot
be
like the
Sounds like
intuition
material,
that you were talking about.
Well, to me, spirit is part of the intuition. I mean, it depends on whether you want to realize where it's coming from. I mean, I see miracles every day.
Okay.
They're not big miracles, like I'll pull up to somewhere and I'm looking for a parking spot. Somebody pulls out, and I give my thanks.
And that's spiritual.
Okay.
to
That-
you in
to
that
me,
moment.
that's a spiritual thing.
So you think that was
And I
like
get-
preordained?
No.
Okay.
But it happened because I've put out enough. God sent us down here, a soul, because we were not doing what we needed to be doing. I don't believe that there is sin. There's no right or wrong. It's just cause and effect. And you're responsible for everything that you say, do, think, and feel.
Where does your
So-
joy and meaning come from? If you
What
don't
do you
mind
mean?
me asking.
Oh, just being here and knowing that
That's beautiful.
my existence here is just to be a vehicle for God and ask for guidance in being that every day before I get out.
You seem to be pretty like drawn to ideas of cause and effect. How does that translate into like ethics and morality? Like he was talking about how there's this absolute moral code given to us by God. Where do you think like if you had to judge an action, where does that come from?
Well, I mean, all you got to do is think about it.
Just think about it. Intuition again.
Well, no, I mean, you take any child, and I've worked with a lot of kids in different countries and stuff, but you take any child, they get upset, 5 seconds later, they're fine. Okay? They don't know what another person of heritage or color or whatever, they don't know that until they're taught. Soul does not come down here, with prejudice and racism and all that kind of stuff, or sin. They're taught things, and, if they're in a good situation, they...
So you believe if people are raised correctly, they can stay in touch with that soul throughout their life, and they won't learn the same.
The most spiritual people I've run into and know have been people that have gone through shit.
They've had to learn.
I've lost 3 brothers, and none of my friends are still alive from the 60s. So
Tell me your thoughts on like what he's talking about.
So, like what you said before, I think we can all agree that racism is wrong, right? But it's only objectively wrong if you're appealing to something that everybody knows is true. Because it's a very dangerous thing, and it's a very slippery slope to say that everything is relative. As long as it's right to me, I can do it.
My question is, would you do it?
I wouldn't. But there are people who But this is the idea. Obviously, I believe in Christ, but you know atheists that are
we
moral
know.
people,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
That's the whole
Well,
thing.
they're
to be able to have
connecting
that
with
knowledge.
spirit, basically.
It's not only about being moral. That's not how you get to heaven. We've all done evil things in the sight of a holy God, and you need to express faith and repentance. Like you were saying, I believe that there are other spiritual forces at work on earth. If Jesus, if he performs all of these miracles, if he does what he does, and then he dies, then he is just some crazy man. And you don't need to listen to him. The basis of the Christian faith is that he rose from the dead. If he doesn't rise from the dead, then he could be chalked up as some lunatic.
I don't think he would be.
You know, I was also born again back in the 70s. So the things that I've learned is that you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, basically you're out of luck. Why would God put that kind of a situation where everybody from all around the world and stuff only has one option? That's putting out a lot of souls that like, sorry man, you guys can't come in because you didn't accept Jesus as your Savior.
I can definitely relate to feeling like how unfortunate it must be. Some like Chinese person born in 1412, never even heard of Jesus, being born and then dying. Depending on your religion, either you're going to hell, not getting to the highest layer of heaven, or like are in some sort of purgatory zone. That's kind of unfair. She didn't really get to do anything. Plowed a field until she died of something, you know? It doesn't seem right. But I think that like different religions, different Christian denominations definitely answer that question in different ways. But I see your point.
I believe that God defines purpose for our life. He is personal, and that he has come to us in the person of Jesus. And although we have these difficult moral questions sometimes about God, if he exists and if he created you, you could never have these difficult moral questions even about. He gave you life. He desires a relationship with you in Christ. I believe that we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, and he's made a way for us to have eternity with him. So that's what means most to me. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much.
Do y'all want a
this is
donut,
amazing.
by the way?
I'm okay.
Yeah, they've been here for a while, so
Yeah.
probably not.
I
a good idea.
appreciate you, yeah.
Thank you so much. Any final words?
The other thing I know is that there's always a balance. There's a yin and yang, whatever you want to call it, however you want to interpret it.
Does it make you sad to see the somehow sudden regression?
No, what makes me concerned is that Trump brought to the surface stuff that I thought had been resolved more than it had been.
I've always wondered, like, the amount of progression in terms of progressive ideology, you know, from like the 90s to like, 2016 was so rapid. I've always sort of been curious about how much that played a role in the massive rubber banding of the culture.
God's probably looking down and is like, man, I gave you guys a real good spot, and look what you're doing.
And look,
with it.
look what we've.
And look how you're treating other people. The other thing is that concerns me. I know my son, he's at a different spot than a lot of people his age because he's involved in stuff like I am, and because he's been taught that and given that, and given the freedom to do that or explore whatever. But it's like young people are not searching anymore.
That's what we're all about.
That is a large concern.
That's
of
what
ours.
concerns me a lot,
Yeah.
and it's
They're not asking themselves the big questions.
entire
they're
group.
not.
They
They're
can feel like
not.
they're distracted. Yeah.
What they're searching is the screen.
Yes.
And it's a virtual reality.
Wow.
There's nothing real. The majority of people don't want to look at themselves and ask the question, why am I here? What am I doing here? How am I conscious to even think about
They
why
have a
am I
fear.
here
They
and
don't
what
have-
am I
yeah.
doing?
Yeah, that's what we're all about, is spreading those questions. This is exactly what this sign was
Right.
supposed to do.
Because I know there are some younger people that are beginning to go back to a flip phone or whatever and stuff like that. But those are all, and the thing is all of that is changing so exponentially quicker and quicker because that state of consciousness is being nurtured by a screen.
Yeah. These businesses are taking advantage of kids' attention and what they care about.
absolutely.
And
It's so
they
predatory.
They have such beautiful souls, but they're not allowed to express it. Yeah,
I mean, scrolling and the way video games are designed and the way kind of content that we're consuming on a regular is a drug.
But the psychology, yeah.
Yeah, the psychology, they literally,
It's huge.
and look what they do with foods.
Yeah.
They put guar gum, gelum gum, all these kind of additives that there's so much research that's now available for people to understand that, it's all about texture. It's not about nutrition.
I guess to kind of end off, what's one thing that you wish that just more people really understood and would be thoughtful about?
It would have to come back to basically the knowledge that you're not somebody with a soul. That's a very scary thing for people to deal with. It takes a lot of courage to just sit down with yourself, go out in the woods, whatever it is, and just really dive into like who you are, why you're there, why are you the person you are. Once you kind of look at that, you know what? It's all down to me. You guys, if you really do something with this and do it in a way that grabs hold of some younger people, if you can get young people to start searching again, I mean really searching for spirituality, whatever it is, and not the screen, but use the screen as a tool just like the TV or radio or whatever else. That's the way to use the tools that we have is doing something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is incredible. You have a good night. That was so cool.
That was good.
That was
good.
awesome. Well, we'll probably do another outro, but if this is the only outro, if we're like that tired.
Yeah. This was cool.
This
I
was
liked
cool.
it. I liked it.
I liked this.
I would come back next Wednesday and do it again. This was fun.
Let's do it again. My back hurts.
This worked better than I
My
thought it
ego hurts. But you know, it'll be all right.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank
man.
you for
This
watching.
was
This was
cool.
Yield.